I still remember the heat of that Bangkok afternoon. The way the air felt thick with the scent of street food grilled chicken skewers, sweet mango with sticky rice, and the ever-present spice of chili. I had been in Thailand for just a week, still adjusting to the rhythm of the city, when curiosity got the better of me. I downloaded Tinder, not really expecting anything serious. It felt like a small adventure within the bigger adventure of traveling alone. Her name was Lalana. Her profile was simple 3 photos, no filters. Just her smiling against the backdrop of a temple, then on a beach, then holding what looked like Thai iced tea. Something about that smile caught my attention. It wasn't the rehearsed, practiced smile of someone trying too hard. It was real, alive, carrying warmth and a quiet mystery. I swiped right. She matched. Our conversation started lightly. She teased me about being a tourist, asked if I had already gotten lost in the chaotic markets, and laughed when I admitted I had spent half an hour trying to figure out the BTS train system. Her messages were quick, witty, and playful, but there was also a sincerity beneath them that made me feel like I wasn't just another foreigner passing through her country. After 2 days of chatting, she suggested we meet, but not at a bar. She wrote, "I want to show you something different." That's how I found myself standing outside Chatakak Market, the sprawling maze of stalls that seemed to stretch endlessly in every direction. The sun was unforgiving, but the energy of the place was intoxicating. Vendors calling out, bargaining voices rising, colors of fabrics and spices colliding in every corner. Then I saw her. Lalana was smaller than I expected, with long black hair tied back in a loose braid, and eyes that seemed to shine with a mix of confidence and curiosity. She wore a simple white dress, nothing extravagant, but the way she carried herself made the crowd seem to part naturally around her. "You came," she said, smiling. "I almost got lost twice," I admitted. She laughed, and just like that, the awkwardness of meeting someone new melted away. We wandered through the market together. She introduced me to foods I'd never dared to try, fried insects that made me hesitate, coconut ice cream served in a hollowed-out shell, and a fiery papaya salad that left me gulping water while she watched with amused eyes. Every time I struggled with the spice, she teased, "Maybe Thailand is too strong for you." But as the afternoon slipped into evening, something shifted. The playful banter softened into quieter conversations. She told me about her life, how she grew up in Chiang Mai, moved to Bangkok for university, and dreamed of one day opening her own art gallery. There was a spark in her voice when she spoke about painting, the kind of passion that made me realize her heart belonged to something bigger than herself. I shared my own story about leaving behind a comfortable but unfulfilling job to travel, to search for something I couldn't quite name. For the first time in months, I felt like someone truly listened as the market lights flickered on. She suggested we walk somewhere quieter. She led me through narrow streets until we reached a small temple tucked away behind the chaos. It was nearly empty, the golden Buddha inside glowing softly in the dim light. The silence was calming, almost sacred, but it was there, standing under the temple's eaves, that I noticed her expression change. Her laughter dimmed. Her eyes flickered with something I couldn't quite read. "What's wrong?" I asked. She hesitated, then shook her head. "Nothing. Just, sometimes I forget how easy it is to talk to a stranger. Easier than with people I've known all my life." There was something heavy in her words, as though they carried a weight I wasn't yet allowed to see. Before I could ask, her phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen, and I saw her face tighten. She quickly silenced it, slipping it back into her bag. "Is everything okay?" She forced a smile. "Yes, let's keep walking." But the mood had shifted. The warmth between us was still there, but now there was a shadow hanging over it. We ended the evening by the river, sitting on the edge of a pier where the city lights shimmered across the water. She spoke softly about her dreams again, but I could sense the distraction in her eyes. When we finally said goodbye, she hugged me lightly and whispered, "Thank you for today." I should have left it at that, but I couldn't. Something about her lingered with me. The feeling that behind her smile was a story she wasn't telling. The next few days, we kept messaging, though her replies grew slower, shorter. Then, one night, she wrote, "I need to tell you something, but not here. Can you meet me tomorrow?" I agreed. We met again, this time in a quiet cafe, far from the tourist areas. Lalana arrived looking more serious than I had ever seen her. She didn't waste time with small talk. "There's something you should know," she began, her hands trembling slightly as she held her coffee cup. "I wasn't completely honest with you." My stomach tightened. "I'm engaged," she said finally. It's not what you think. My family arranged it. They believe it's the best for me, for us. He's wealthy, respected, but stop, her voice breaking. I don't love him. The words hung heavy between us. Suddenly, everything made sense, the distracted looks, the phone calls she avoided, the sadness that flickered behind her smile. Why did you meet me then? I asked, my voice softer than I expected. Because I wanted to feel like myself again. Just once. To talk to someone who saw me, not the daughter, not the fiancée, not the woman trapped by expectations. Her eyes met mine, glistening, and with you, I felt free. A war raged inside me. Part of me wanted to walk away, to protect myself from being entangled in something that wasn't mine to fix. But another part of me, the stronger part, knew I couldn't just let her face this alone. That night, we walked along the empty streets of Bangkok, our silence louder than words. She didn't ask me to fight for her. She didn't promise me a future. But when she looked at me, I saw a plea for understanding, for hope, for something real in a life that felt scripted by others. And I realized then that sometimes love isn't about grand gestures or perfect timing. Sometimes it's about being the person who stands beside someone in their most vulnerable moments. Our story didn't end with a fairy tale kiss or a declaration of forever. It ended with a quiet choice, hers to face the path laid before her, and mine to carry the memory of what we shared. But even now, I can still see her smile, hear her laugh, feel the warmth of that first day in the market when the world felt new. And I know that no matter where life takes me, I'll never forget what happened on my first Tinder date in Thailand. Because it wasn't just a date, it was the beginning of a story that changed me, one of love, of conflict, of fleeting connection that left a mark deeper than I ever expected.